Mhm.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And as we teased in video number one, I now know when housing sales will crash. But before we get into that, let's welcome Matt, the lumberjack landlord. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing awesome, Mike. I can't wait to find out what I'm supposed to do with my portfolio since we've now found
I finally found.
the
And again,
glimmer in the crystal ball.
it's all data driven, right? Because that's a big thing for me. I think history,
It is.
the future is a rhyme or rhythm of the past.
Mhm.
If you can put it together, you can at least make a playbook. So as you know, I have this 50-year spreadsheet, which, you know what, let's pull it up because I actually got it set because I knew what we were going to talk about. So
I am extremely familiar with said 50-year spreadsheet.
Yes, you've looked at it a couple of times.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Just a few.
So let's make this a little smaller. We'll move you up here. So again, folks, this is a 50-year spreadsheet. This is actually in my free course. I think it is so valuable. I'm giving it away in the free course. If you've bought my course, obviously it's there as well. It's both in the bonus sections. So here's the deal. If you're following my channel, you know that I believe we are repeating the sins of the 70s, which are set up for a huge inflation.
Yes.
So a couple of things make the 70s interesting, right? It was the only decade of the last 50 where rates start at 1 and end at a higher level, right? They end here at 11, right? Interestingly enough, housing never falls, right? I actually did the math here. Housing never falls, even though for all you idiots that are saying housing has to fall when rates rise, well, no, it doesn't, right? Look at history. Oh, by the way, it's all wage driven. That was a big aha moment when we went through this the first time, right? Yeah. So again, inflation rates, all of these things are important. But I've always wondered, Matt, I've always thought that, what, rates have to eventually hurt housing sales because clearly, if you just scroll over to the 80s, right? You have where is it? 30-year rates starting to spike from 77. It goes all the way up to 16%, like 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
But look at that. Home appreciation certainly falls, but it never goes negative. Interesting.
Right. The only time that went negative was the 4-year stretch in the late 2008.
Yeah, and again, we have the data here for you, folks. It's all highlighted in red. 5 years of negative, 08 to 12.
Yeah,
cumulative 22.3%. But again, let's go back to the 70s because again, my rational mind says higher rates have to hurt values. That is now proven false.
Yes,
there is another wrinkle. Because maybe it doesn't hurt price because sales crash, right? Because price is nothing more than a collection of sales. Maybe if sales go to zero, does price really crash, right? So I just love my followers because I was looking for this data. I put it out on my daily financial news that I need help. And somebody came through.
I love that.
I love that too. They're awesome.
So good.
So here we go. Somebody sent this to me. So here we go. Can you see this?
Holy Toledo, look at that spreadsheet.
Yeah, this was obviously sourced from somewhere. National Association of Realtors is the source, just been cut off. But you can see this now, yeah? So here's the deal. Look at the first column. So the 1970s, right? So that's the first column is what we're looking at here. We start at 1.6 million. That's what this is. Goes to 2.3. But really what I want to call your attention to is the late 70s because that's where rates spiked. Remember, it went from 8 to 16.
Yeah.
So again, in a rising rate environment, we finally have sales fall in 79.
Yep.
Okay. Then they fall again in 80. Then they fall again in 81. They fall again in 82.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So from 78 to 82, what happened? So let me write this down because I can't pull up two windows. So 78, it was basically let's call it 4 million.
Call 4 million down to 2 million.
So 78 to 82. 2 million. Okay, so that's total sales. Okay, yeah. Pretty cool. I have no idea why I can't. Can I stop sharing this? It's a different view. Oh, look at that. I can share two things at one time. All right, so 78, right? That was the first year. 4 million sales. Home appreciation was 16%. That was like the last good year.
So you can see it. I can't.
Oh, you can't see it now. Oh, okay.
See it.
Oh, thank you. So I have to share it this way. So I can't share two screens at once. Now you can see.
Now I can see your 50-year sheet.
It's perfect. So 78 was the last good year. 4 million sales. Home appreciation was 16%.
Yep.
Interest rates were 9%.
Yep.
79, housing starts to go down. Sales,
Yes.
appreciation is 16%. Rates are 11. Rates went up 1.5 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
1980, interest rates are up another 1.5 points. Oh no, they're up 2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Appreciation is still 13%. 81, rates are up 3%. Values are up 7%. And then finally, 82, at the bottom of the market, rates are now 16%. Housing transactions are cut in half, and appreciation is still 5%.
Yep.
What the hell?
It would appear as though, Michael, that housing is resilient.
Yes, that people still move. They still do stuff. They still get divorced. They still get married. They still do this. They still do that.
Yes.
Again, I'm going to put this data in here. I just got it. Again, transactions are cut in half from 78 to 82. I just have to know, what is the cumulative appreciation?
And Mike, and that's still
57%.
Yeah. And that's still when your gross payment is 46 or 45% of your income.
That's why you only have 2 million sales, because nobody's getting approved.
That's right.
Only the best of the best are getting it. You are not getting it approved on this loan at a 10% down payment, which is what I think I have in this spreadsheet.
Well, and they've obviously at that point, they also made some adjustments for debt to income and things like banks changed a little bit too.
They had to. Again,
they had to. Otherwise, they weren't doing it. They only make money when they lend it out.
Yeah, the deal is, again, we went from 4 million homes in 78 to 2 million in 82. Housing went up 57%, folks.
Yeah.
Eat that. I mean, come on. Right.
Yeah.
And again, banks are still lending. They just want lending low down payments.
That's good. Yeah. I mean,
again, this is eye-opening. Housing transactions can get cut in half and property values can still go up 57%.
Right.
What did wages go up? Let's see, because I have the data. Look at that. Oh my goodness, wages went up 42%.
So I was going to say 40%. Yeah.
That's, again, this is why I'm telling you that the 2020s are going to be about wage inflation. We're already seeing them.
Yep.
And if wages go up, even though interest rates go up and transactions crash, we can still have appreciation. This, I don't know, just look at the data, people. This was so eye-opening. Again, I'd never seen the data put together until you and I did this real time.
Yeah. And Mike, the supply still remains a problem in this market.
Yeah.
That's how many closed in that market, right?
Mm-hmm.
But supply wise,
yeah.
think about that think about that supply, right? They did $2 million in sales. I wonder what that would equate, or 2 million, 2 million
units.
Sales units. I wonder what that would equate to in today's market.
Well,
just based on population growth. Like I know that you're reading that book and all those, right? But it's,
I don't know.
Are we, is the housing market twice the size that it used to be? And if that's the case, then our number's 4 million. And that means we're crashing off of 5.5 to 4.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I think we're doing roughly 6 million units today.
Yep.
I think you use the same math, right? I think that's the beauty of percentage. Yeah.
Yep,
we go to 3 million and we're good. So again, folks, we can have income go up. It's all about income. We can have transactions cut in half. We can have rates double. What did they go from? Let's be clear. They didn't quite double. They went up exactly 700 basis points. Jeez Louise.
That's crazy.
And you still have property increase 50% over a 5-year period. Wages. People will still, it's not like housing goes, people still buy. There's lots of reasons to still buy. And oh, by the way, we still have build for rent. We have rent in the 80s. People were, rich people were buying apartments. They weren't buying houses. I mean, it's
the concern that I have for most people, Mike, is that based on this spreadsheet, with how much housing went up and how much wage increases went up, your issue is you're still behind on wages.
Well, it's you're down payment constrained. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So people should probably be doing the work and looking at it now, even though everyone's telling them not to, because they have no clue what they're actually talking about.
It's always a great data. It's always a good data by a great deal.
Always.
And again, I think people are really going to look back at them, and it's already happening. Rates are already off the bottom that I called months ago. And I'm just so thankful that I spent a year getting all my variable rate apartment loans into fixed rate 30-year money.
Yeah, we literally, I think we have only exposure in about 10% of our portfolio.
Yeah. So the question at hand,
yeah,
when does housing crash? Again, sales, not value. The answer is when the 30-year mortgage goes up 700 basis points. So if rates go from 3 to 10%, that could kill the housing market. But let's actually do it on a percentage basis, because I think the absolutes are.
But I think there's also something else here, Mike, though, too, which is these guys are calling like this is going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
This took 4 years. 4 years to play out. 4 years to play out. Yeah. It was 9.6, 11.2, 13.74, 16.64.
Yeah.
4 years to go that 700 basis points.
Yeah.
Let's just say even this time, right? We're going to have to listen to the other people talking about this absurdity for 4 years and like, see, I'm right. See, I'm right. See, I'm right. Yeah, I get it. I'm never said that it wasn't going to increase, if there wasn't going to be inflation.
Yeah.
And I just crash.
Yeah. So I just got validation again of something I've been calling. I just love when I actually know what I'm talking about. So again, right, it went up 700 basis points, but I don't like nominal numbers in this case. So I used a percentage. So it went up 72%.
Okay.
So if you take a 3% interest rate and it goes up 72%, you just cross 5%.
Yep.
What have I been telling everybody for the last year? If the 30-year mortgage gets 5%, the housing market will contract. Yep. It'll contract on sales. It could fall 50%, but that doesn't mean values fall, folks. That's what this spreadsheet says. So again, if the 30-year rate gets to 5%, the housing market will stop trend. It will come to a grinding halt, but that does not mean values fall.
Nope, I totally agree with that. And then you'll start to see potentially values slow.
Increase, for sure.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And
housing slowdown is real. There's no question.
And maybe in some markets, dip. I think what you covered I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday when we talked about, rates. And again, it comes down to payment. It comes down to payment. It comes down to cash flow on the properties. Yeah, exactly. I think that a lot of these guys aren't talking about real estate investors. They're talking about people buying their own single family home. And you and I have talked about that. And we've done it on air where we've talked about, I don't know that now is the greatest time to buy a single family home if you don't know where your job's going to be in 2 or 3 years.
No, there's plenty of reasons to rent. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You put a gun to my head, I'm not buying in the Bay Area today. Forget it. Nope, not happening. No,
I agree.
But that doesn't mean there's not a rental out there that would make sense for me to buy in some other market.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of reasons not to own, but yeah.
Yeah. And again, it gives you a payment, which is more than your payment, which is giving you return on capital. And PS, by the way, if all of these things and prices continue to appreciate, you said pricing appreciated 52% in that time.
I can't believe it. Rates went up 72%. They went up 700 basis points. Transactions fell in half, and yet values went up 57%.
Right.
What are people thinking?
I mean, would you like to make 57% in 5 years?
And oh, by the way, rent. I didn't even get rent in there.
No, and that's, I mean, this is what we talk about all the time. It's the dividend on crypto, right?
Exactly.
It's the dividend. It's like crypto doesn't give you that dividend. And then, I saw this awesome piece that a guy put together, and he was basically like, if you spend $15,000 on this bucket of stocks, you're going to get returned something like, I think it was like $1,250 return that year on appreciation. Like a bad housing deal does that.
Yeah. You could overpay for housing and do that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So again, folks, I know exactly when housing sales will crash. Sales, not value. And like I've been saying, and now I have the proof, when it goes up to over 5%.
Yep.
It could. But housing sales crash does not mean prices fall. It could, but it certainly wouldn't crash.
People should do themselves a service and watch the replay of your live stream on Saturday, where you did the over under.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
You did. So what Mike did was he did the over under on property on rates over under 4.
Yeah, 4%.
And that's what everybody was weighing in on, over under on 4. If you want to play the game, you can post it in the questions on this video, and then go back and watch that video and then answer your own question on this side saying whether or not you are right. Don't be a liar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think rates will be? I'll ask you here.
Well, so I think, I put in there, I think personally, so it was for June 2022.
Yep.
Rates are over 4. 100% they're over 4.
Yeah, I think
I absolutely think they're over 4.
Yeah. But do they go over 5?
No. Not by June of next year.
Not by June.
No.
Four.
No. But I do actually believe that by the end of next year, you could be 4.5. By the end of next year, you could be 4.5.
Yeah. 14 months from now.
Because I think they're going to have to start doing some things to rein in inflation.
Yeah. They're going to have to first admit it's here. No, we don't see it. It's not here. We don't see it. Nope. No inflation.
I'm waiting for Powell to go.
Transitory.
I may have miscalculated.
Well, I don't think he's getting reelected or nominated or whatever they call it.
That's true. Yeah.
I think he's out. They're going to throw someone else in. Oh, he's going to be scary.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, do me a favor. How can people follow you and watch your Sunday live stream, which goes 3 hours, which I could not do?
It does 11:30. We usually finish around 2:30. And so, yeah, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube. And you need to subscribe, people. Subscribe, because you get the notification. You don't have to have a good memory if you just subscribe. That's it.
There you go, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.